What's up, guys? Jeff and Serena here from Grid City Fitness and Performance. Have you come to find that you feel like you're in a stagnation point or a plateau? Today I want to talk to you, or we're going to talk to you about what is a stagnation or what is a plateau and what's the best way to break through them and what you should not do if you feel like you're in a plateau. So Serena's going to kick it off.
So first of all, I think we've talked about this a lot before. People are very, we want quick results, we want quick fixes, and we are very impatient. So especially when we're new to weight loss, the first few weeks, if we are going from doing nothing to adding a workout and nutrition plan, or even just one or the other, we will see some more progress in the very beginning because that's when it's gonna be the most drastic, because it's the beginning point. So people typically are very happy, like, oh, 2 pounds down a week for a couple weeks, and then it slows down, and then they're like, oh my God, I need to change something, I'm not seeing progress. So the first thing I want you guys to be aware of is that just going 1 week or 2 weeks seeing minimal to no progress does not mean you've hit a plateau, because the whole journey is a long road and there's going to be little bumps and divots along the way. So just going 1 or 2 weeks without seeing progress does not mean a plateau. What we can consider a plateau, or can consider is time for us to make a little change, would be if it's been like 3 to 4 weeks, at least 3 to 4 weeks, about a month of consistent minimal to no progress. That's when we can realistically say, okay, we've hit a bit of a plateau, we need to make some changes to our plan in order to have some more success.
Yeah, and to go on that point, guys, the first couple weeks is much like when we get on the freeway to our destination. It's going to be a lot faster than if we were taking side roads. Those side roads usually are towards the middle or sometimes anywhere in the stage of our progress, and they're just going to be a little bit slower, but that doesn't mean you're not getting closer to your end destination just because you went from 60 on the freeway down to 30 on a side road. All right, let's go into point 2.
So point number 2, we're going to kind of go into, now that we've addressed, okay, what is a plateau versus what's not a plateau. So when you do hit a plateau, what should you not do? I'm just going to quickly name off things you should not do, so then we can tell you after that what you should do instead. So what you should not do is freak out. I know it's easier said than done, but you should just try to stay calm, because it doesn't do you any good, and all it does is stress you out and bring negativity into your head if you're freaking out over it. So try to stay calm and not freak out about it. And what you should also not do is make drastic changes to your calories and drastically increase your cardio, because that's something typically just in our society, in our culture, people automatically think, okay, I need to do more cardio to lose weight, I need to eat less to lose weight, but that's not always the case. And depending on where you're at, depending on where your metabolism is, depending on how long you've been in a caloric deficit, the answer might possibly be more calories sometime to help give your body a little boost, make your body happy with you again, and make your body happy to go back into the fat burning mode.
Yeah, and one of the big things for most people is that once they get to what feels like a plateau, they feel like they have to do everything new again. And that's not the truth. And I like to use the idea of a snowball, right? We talk about the snowball effect and creating momentum as you start and go through things. Well, basically, if you restart or think that you have to do drastic shifts, what you've done now is you've had a snowball that was building momentum and building size. And right now the snowball has come to a little bit more of a flatter surface, right? And that flat surface is just a temporary thing because there's another hill coming. But what you've done is you've found that your snowball is in the middle of a flat surface, and instead of just trying to nudge it through that flat surface a little bit more, you've decided to take a hammer to it, chop it all up, and now start a new snowball, right? And so that's counterproductive, because you've just used all this time to become and create this snowball that you've now decided to chop up by starting over, going through something new, and thinking that all this stuff needs to change when it's really just a little micro push to get that snowball moving again.
Small adjustments. So we never want to give up just because we're not seeing progress too. That's another thing. Obviously, it's kind of obvious, but I still got to throw it in there. Remind you guys, please don't ever give up just because you feel like you have a little bit of a plateau. It can be easily fixed, and it's not as scary as you guys think. It doesn't have to be crazy low calories, crazy high cardio. What we should do instead is relax and think about it realistically, like, okay, what should we do to what steps should we take? So we should, instead of making drastic changes, we should make small changes to the plan. So there are times we might need to increase cardio, or maybe change up the type of cardio we're doing, Because when you hit a plateau, your body is basically saying, okay, I'm kind of sick of what you're doing to me. Like you've probably been doing the same thing for a while, and your body reacted well at first, and now your body's tired of it. Your body's tired of the very low calories, or your body's tired of the same kind of cardio. So you can switch up the type of cardio, the type of exercise you're doing to keep things interesting for your body, and you can make switches to what you're doing with your nutrition. Rather than drastically cutting calories, you might just cut back calories a little bit and see how your body reacts, or depending on where you're at and kind of where how your journey's been, you might need to add a little bit of calories so that your body will be happy to go back into the fat burning mode. Because when we are on very low calories, when we're in a caloric deficit, our body can only handle that for so long. Our body will get more and more stubborn as it's tired of being hungry. Your body's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for a couple months now, I've been losing all this weight, but it kind of will stop for a little bit after that. So that's why sometimes we'll do a refeed, which is like a cheat meal, but I use the word refeed because I don't like the negative connotation. And what that is like an untracked meal, and it gives your body a boost of all these calories and extra carbs and things that it's been craving and wanting, and then it's a little bit more satisfied, and then it'll go back into that weight loss, fat burning mode. And sometimes we might need to do like a week of a calorie increase. So we'll go back and forth. We'll cycle higher and lower calories to switch things up for your body, so your body isn't like, oh my gosh, she's just going to be starving us forever. I'm sick of this. I'm going to let go of less and less body fat.
Yeah, so on that topic, guys, a lot of times the real reason that you're stagnating is more so because of the nutrition aspect than the training. The training is what's consistently moving you in the direction, but the nutrition is what's taking the weight loss off. And usually the body will adapt to the calories that you're consuming, and it will typically adapt to the food types that you're eating. So it's ideal to almost throw in what she said was like a refeed or some sort of an adjustment meal where it throws your body into kind of a correction where it has to work, right? So those are things that you would not normally be eating on a day-to-day basis, but it makes your body have to work and burn and cycle back into a more metabolic and furnace style endeavor for itself. So yeah. What else?
I think that really covers most of it. So we just want to make sure that we're being realistic with when we've reached a plateau or not. So we said 3 to 4 weeks, not just 1 week or 2 weeks, and then just be calm and make small changes rather than anything drastic.
Exactly, guys. So if you have or feel like you're in a plateau, take an accurate measure of your progress to this part, right? And a good way to validate if you're truly in a plateau or if you've had excellent results in previous weeks and now are just kind of correcting. Your body will usually have about a 2-pound weight loss per week, depending on your actual current weight. That does fluctuate a little bit based on the individual. Like a 100-pound woman is not going to probably lose 2 pounds per week, and also on the flip side of that, a 400-pound man is probably not going to lose only 2 pounds per week. It's usually about 1 to 2% of your body weight per week realistically weight loss. So what you want to do here is actually take your weight, take your start weight, or from whenever you started your journey, take your current weight and see where you're at. So if you've been on the right roller coaster, realize that it might just be balancing out a little bit by some fluctuations that were really, really high and aggressive on 1 week and are just rebalancing on another, because your body also does like to have almost a manageable weight loss, because extreme weight loss for the body puts it into shock and stress that it's not used to, and it will rebound back up to it. So the goal is actually a kind of a slow, steady decrease in weight, because then it's manageable, it's also repeatable, and it's easy for you to maintain it while the body has adapted to these new levels and basically series. And the other thing I want to leave there, guys, instead of thinking of a plateau or stagnation point as what you would think a plateau is, think about a plateau being more like a lander on the stairs, right? You have 20 stairs that go down, you have a lander, and then you have another 20 stairs. Basically, it's just a way for you to reposition and repattern yourself to now go down the next stairway. It's a preparation phase versus a bad thing. So when you look at it as what it is, which is really just a reset point for the next journey down the stairs, it becomes a lot better of a thought process and a much easier way for you to realize that the results are still coming and still there. All you're doing is just getting yourself balanced and ready for the next stairway.